Seth Rollins can't believe Roman Reigns returned wrecks Paul Heyman. Hey everyone, welcome back. Today we've got some truly surprising and heartwarming news from the WWE Universe. In the wake of chaos, betrayal, and power-shifting hands, a shocking storm has returned to WWE. Roman Reigns is back, and he's not here to reclaim a seat at the table. He's here to burn it down. And the first casualty, Paul Heyman. What you're about to witness is the story of deception, destruction, and dominance. Seth Rollins may have thought he'd claimed the throne, but the true tribal chief has returned. And his target, the man who dared betray him, Paul Heyman. Let's dive into this unbelievable saga. The Rise of Rollins. After WrestleMania 41, the landscape of WWE changed forever. Seth, Freakin, Rollins, cunning and cruel, aligned himself with none other than Paul Heyman, the manipulative mastermind who once stood beside Roman Reigns for nearly 4 years. With Roman gone since WrestleMania, nursing injuries and allegedly considering time off from the business, Rollins took his shot. In Heyman's words, it was a strategic evolution. For Seth, it was all about control. Together, they launched a ruthless regime on Monday Night Raw. Superstars like Sami Zayn, Chad Gable, and even Drew McIntyre were buried under a barrage of sneak attacks, ambushes, and mind games. Paul Heyman whispered in Seth's ear, guiding him just as he had once done with Roman. Seth began referring to himself as the new head of the table. The fans, they didn't buy it, but Rollins didn't care. He had the gold, he had the mic, and he had Heyman. But what he didn't know was that a storm was brewing. Whispers of the tribal chief. Rumors swirled backstage. Social media blew up with blurry photos. Was Roman training again? Was he at the performance center? Paul Heyman dodged every question about Roman. When asked, he coldly responded. Heyman, clip voiceover. Roman Reigns is no longer your concern. He's handling personal business. Seth Rollins is the present. The future. The end of this conversation. But something felt off. The tension in Heyman's eyes, the hesitance in his tone. Fans began to wonder, was Heyman hiding something? Then, during an episode of Raw in mid-May, Seth Rollins unveiled a new faction. Braun Breaker, J.D. McDonough, and Liv Morgan. Together, they declared themselves the new bloodline. It was a slap in the face to Roman's legacy. And it was the last straw. The return, May 27, 2025. A date that will go down in history. The main event was set. Seth Rollins and Braun Breaker vs. Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens. The match ended in chaos, with Breaker spearing Owens through the barricade and Rollins stomping Zayn into the mat. The crowd booed mercilessly. Seth Rollins stood tall, microphone in hand. Seth Rollins' voice impression. This is the new era. This is my WWE now. The tribal chief. He's just a memory. Then the lights flickered. A loud DUNNNNNNN echoed. The Titantron flashed. Believe that. The arena erupted. Roman Reigns stepped through the curtain in full gear. Hoodie over his head. Eyes locked on the ring. No Usos. No Solo. Just Roman. And vengeance. Heyman's face turned white. Seth's smug grin vanished. Roman didn't say a word. He walked down the ramp like a man possessed. Rollins stood in shock. Heyman tried to rush toward Roman, maybe to beg. Maybe to explain. And then, boom. Spear to Heyman. The crowd exploded. Paul Heyman, the man who orchestrated Roman's dominance, laid flat on the canvas. Betrayed. Wrecked. Forgotten. Roman stood over Heyman's motionless body. He didn't blink. He didn't smile. He simply turned to Seth Rollins, pointed a single finger, and mouthed, "I'm coming for you." Fallout and fury. Backstage chaos ensued. Medical staff rushed to Heyman. Seth screamed for answers. Braun Breaker stood in front of Seth like a bodyguard, shielding him from Roman's wrath. That night, WWE posted a statement. Paul Heyman has suffered internal injuries. His condition is being monitored. He will not appear on WWE programming for the foreseeable future. Roman, meanwhile, refused all interviews. He didn't speak on social media. His actions spoke louder than any promo could. On SmackDown, Michael Cole addressed the situation with somber intensity. Michael Cole, ladies and gentlemen, we don't know what Roman Reigns' intentions are, but one thing is clear, he has declared war. Seth Rollins, visibly shaken, opened Raw the next week. Seth Rollins' voice impression. I didn't betray Roman Reigns. Paul did. I did what was best for WWE, and now Roman wants to destroy everything I've built. Bring it on. But his voice cracked. His eyes told the truth. He wasn't ready for what was coming. The message. 1 week later, we finally heard from Roman Reigns. Sitting alone in a dark room, with a single camera focused on him, he delivered a chilling message. Roman Reigns' voice impression. I trusted Paul Heyman. I carried this company while others crumbled. And what did I get? A knife in my back. Seth Rollins, you're not a champion. You're a placeholder. A coward hiding behind a man who's now paying for his sins. This isn't about gold anymore. This is about blood. And when I return, there won't be a kingdom left for you to rule. You made a mistake. You forgot who I am. I'm not your brother. I'm not your friend. I'm the end of your story. Believe that. Locker room reactions. The WWE locker room was divided. Some, like Sami Zayn, voiced support for Roman. Sami Zayn clip. I know what it's like to stand beside Heyman. To be used. Roman's not wrong for what he did. Others, like Braun Breaker, called Roman a relic, and promised to defend Seth with their lives. Braun Breaker. Roman Reigns is the past. If he wants to pick a fight, he can pick his funeral outfit too. Even Cody Rhodes, who had once been Roman's fiercest rival, commented. Cody Rhodes. If there's one thing I know, when Roman Reigns sets his eyes on revenge, nothing can stop him. Not even Seth Rollins. The tension in the company was unbearable. Triple H ordered extra security at every show. Rumors swirled that Roman might show up at any moment. And then, he did. The Bloodline resurrected. June 10, 2025. Raw, Houston, Texas. Seth Rollins held a championship celebration in the ring. Confetti rained down. Braun Breaker stood proud. J.D. McDonough and Liv Morgan posed with custom gold chains. Suddenly, the Tron lit up. Roman Reigns. But this time, he wasn't alone. Standing beside him, Solo Sikoa, Jacob Fatu, and a returning Jimmy Uso. The original bloodline was reborn. And they were ready for war. Roman Reigns' voiceover. You tried to replace me with cheap knockoffs. Now watch what happens when the real bloodline reminds you why we ran this business for years. The crowd lost it. Back in the arena, Seth Rollins looked stunned. He dropped his microphone. Braun Breaker looked ready to fight. J.D. McDonough, not so much. The screen faded to black with 4 words. Next week, we hunt. The reckoning begins. The next week, chaos broke loose. Roman and Solo Sikoa ambushed J.D. McDonough in the parking lot. Jacob Fatu launched Braun Breaker through a table. Seth Rollins was nowhere to be found. On SmackDown, Roman spoke again. Roman Reigns. This isn't just revenge. This is punishment. For every lie. For every betrayal. For trying to rewrite history. We built this empire. We bled for it. And now we burn it. And rebuild it in our image. Heyman remained silent. Word was he refused to speak to anyone. A broken man, betrayed by his own ambition. And Seth, he looked like a ghost of himself. His confident promos turned to paranoid rants. Seth Rollins' voice impression. Roman wants a fight. He'll get one. But this time, I finish it. But deep down,